So in California, one of the nation's largest teachers union is now pushing to raise taxes on wealthy Americans with a controversial new cute cartoon thing that they put out. The California Federation of Teachers wants to highlight the inequality that they think exists in the U.S. economy. And, you know, I don't think this really deserves a warning, this clip, but it's clearly in questionable taste. Check it out.
When ordinary people wondered why rich people needed so much money, the 1% said, "Don't worry. This is good for you, too, because it will trickle down from us to you. Someday you'll be rich, and then the rules we made for us will be your rules, too."
Did you see what was happening there? The rich person is peeing on the poor people in that video. The average California public school teacher earns nearly $70,000 a year. Let's bring in Alan and Tucker, shall we? Alan's the host of the Alan Colmes radio show. Tucker Carlson's the editor of the Daily Caller and Fox News contributor. Alan, is that something you want to align yourself with, that great video of rich people peeing on the poor little people below?
I'm not all. I have to work a little harder to get so outraged about that 5 seconds out of an 8-minute video that... Yeah, okay, maybe it wasn't a great take. It's a cartoon. They make a greater point. It's a metaphor. Maybe we should be angry at the person who invented the phrase "trickle down."
Yeah.
You know, but
it's a classy organization, let me tell you, who puts out a video like that.
They're trying to make a point. That is 5 seconds out of an 8-minute video. I don't think it's a big deal.
The whole thing is pretty much on the same tone, I would say. You know, so, and I really do urge people, you know, at the risk of perpetuating this video, you really might want to check it out. Tucker, I know you spoke about this last night. You know, one of the things that they say they want to do, they want to accomplish this, is to show people how we arrived at this moment of poorly funded public services and widening economic inequality. That's their goal here. They want to make sure they explain exactly how that happened.
There are certain mornings when you got to feel sorry for Alan Colmes. Alan, that was a valiant
I don't need your pity, Tucker, but thank you anyway.
Well,
you don't have to feel sorry for me.
He's doing just fine, Tucker.
Having to defend the indefensible. Look, the most troubling part, it's prima facie ludicrous and stupid, but the really troubling part of this is this wasn't put out by the steam fitters, right, or the, you know, Service Employees International. This is put out by the teachers unions. These are people who are educating our children. These are the people in whose hands we place the future of our country. And they are passing along things that aren't just dishonest, the idea that somehow people get rich from tax cuts, that's just dumb, but they're also just beneath them. They're stupid. This is bad economics. It's horrifying that any teacher in a classroom today believes any of this.
Trickle down has not worked. Trickle up works. What the president's done is putting money in the pockets of those who are going to spend it. That's why he's done middle income tax cuts, small business tax cuts. Trickle up works. Trickle down, we have learned ever since the 80s with Reagan, does not work. It just hasn't worked. Why should we think it's going to start to work now?
When I was a kid, I learned the preamble to the Constitution by watching Schoolhouse Rock, and how a bill becomes a bill on Capitol Hill by watching. And I still sort of picture that cute little Bill as he goes from one house to the other in order to sort of, you know, remember how all of that works. This is, it is so blatantly, I mean, the phrase in here, Alan, where he says, why, the rich man shrugs his shoulders and says, why should I care about other non-rich people? Alan, do you really believe, and do you really think that it's worth perpetuating the notion that people who are successful really don't care about people who aren't successful?
Of course not. Look, this is a cartoon that uses hyperbole to make a point, and it's a little over the top.
What's the point?
And guess what? As a result, the point is that we need a fairer distribution of income in this country, and it wouldn't be a tax raise to go back to the sunset provision, which we were supposed to honor after 9 years. The Bush tax cuts were only supposed to last for 9 years because we would have big deficits after that.
Why not just say that? Alan, why not just say that?
Because this is far more entertaining.
Okay? This is pandering to the most base element of class divisiveness in this country. Oh, yes, it is.
I can't get all upset about a cartoon. I really can't get upset.
Look, you could actually you could make an important argument about the distribution of wealth in the country. You could argue that, you know, the Bush tax cuts ought to expire. Fine.
Hey.
But this is an attempt to tell people that, look, you are poor because someone else is rich. You are poor because someone hates you.
Hey, you know what this has done?
Right.
This has an attempt talking about it. This is getting attention.
No, it actually hasn't. There are plenty of ways to talk about it. Plenty of smart people do talk about it. This is trying to convince the less fortunate that they are the victims of a plot by rich people. And by the way, it's voiced over by a certified rich guy, Ed Asner.
Right.
So
and
that's why ironies abound.
No, actually, certified rich guys like Ed Asner and Warren Buffett realize that they should be paying more into the system.
Really? Well, they can pay their entire salary to the poor, and they don't.
And
so maybe
we're near the 92%, 91% tax rates we had in the age of Jimmy Carter. We're talking about simply taking the top 2% and reverting back to what we were supposed to honor, the sunset provision and the Bush tax cuts.
You know what? That's not what's in the video. I understand your point, and I think it's valid to argue that point and have a conversation about it. This is something totally different, and I think they need to take another look at it and decide, is this really what we want to be? Is this how we want to present our message?
Nice try, though, Alan. That was really a heroic attempt.
Keep the pity going for me. Feel sorry for me.
It's there.
Alan, Tucker, we'll see you next week. Thanks, guys.